Okay. So we are on live broadcast right now.
Okay.
We're on live broadcast. Okay. Are you okay, sir? Can you hear me and everything's okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So yeah, it has been a while on Nebo TV, especially regarding this upcoming election in Edo State. We want to know more about what is going on, the political parties, they have chosen their deputies, and what next right now in Edo State. Everywhere seems to be very quiet. This upcoming election is not like the previous one, the last one, you know. So it seems to be a little bit quiet. So what's going on right now?
Well, what is going on? All the parties are trying to lay out their strategies,
Mm.
and they are also trying to see whether they can whittle down opposition parties. For example, I hear some people want to defect from PDP into APC. It's a big event, come to think of it. I hear it's not been verified that Omorege Ugbede Hama is going to formally declare tomorrow to defect, or should it have even been today, defect to APC. And it looks as if a lot of under digging by former deputy governor is some actions are going on to ensure that APC has an upper hand, and a lot of messages are going on in terms of trying to demarket Aswe Godalo and trying to link it with Obaseki. That is the Obaseki sins that will have to fall on Aswe Godalo. So that is the kind of demarketing, negative conversations, attempt at cross carpeting. That's what has been going on. But Labour is going on quietly, trying to make courtesy calls, trying to do some what should we call them? Some goodwill gestures here and there to try and curry the favor of some of the electorate. And I thought it was also strategic that they moved to the Edo North. Edo North seems to be where Labour has pitched its tent, and PDP is also pitching its tent. But then again, um, in terms of strategy, you find that APC is also trying to use, of course, they are relying heavily on the federal might, and they are trying to see what mud they can throw on Aswe Godalu through by by trying to say so many negative things about Obaseki. So it's all kind of underground campaign, strategizing, demarketing, cross carpeting. That's about what is happening.
Sorry. The rate in which PDP members are decamping to APC these days, what do you think will be the prospect of PDP if the people continue to be decamping to APC like this? Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Is this problem from my side or from his side? Not sure. Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, we can hear you now.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
seemed
I'm here.
freeze for a few seconds. And like what you said, the rate in which PDP members are decamping to APC right now, what do you think will be the prospect of PDP in this upcoming election?
Well, I put it two ways. You know, like in all things in life, there is positive, there's negative.
Mm,
Some people are looking at it that, oh, of all the peoples, it was Obaseki that remembered Eastern people and decided to zone gubernatorial to Eastern land.
mm,
Then there comes the fact that they've chosen their new deputy governor from Ibilu, which is Akoko Edo, and they are saying they have long been forgotten. Then there is the Ogie, who's from Edo South. So if you
mm,
look at that, nothing has balanced ever like this. Edo State never sat so comfortably on the tripod on which it is already made. But I hear other things, which is
mm,
that they want to build on this anger to say that Obaseki didn't swear in the judges, and that how come a lawyer like Aswe didn't convince Obaseki to swear in the judges that have been ratified by NJC. By turning it down, you have annoyed a constituency. Then comes the issue of schools. Ekpoma is up in arms that the seat and everybody who's been working for them has not, whom Obaseki appointed, has not done justice to the school. And so they feel very bad that it looks as if the school is collapsing. The school fees are very high. The school students are getting fewer, and therefore there's less money that will go into the school. And what do they call it? The normal grant that you give to schools that is not
mm,
getting high. Therefore, ECPOMA can hold that against the governor. That's on one side. Then comes the issue of Gele Gele that wasn't finished.
mm.
Then comes Uzarwe Airport that wasn't done. So, what was the use of all the MOUs that didn't translate into major activities? Well, but then sometimes it is not true that if PDP doesn't have anything to campaign with. Are you telling me that the Oshomo power plant that has been powering the ministries has not been good enough? Then you have two oil refineries in Edo State. Has that not improved on the economy of the state? Then
Uh,
there are
but I understand that the governor did a lot. However, he promised that he is going to complete that Gulegele seaport. He promised us. So
yes, he
probably
did.
people are using that against him now.
Yes,
He
but then
promised that he's going to, but up to now, even the road leading to Gulegele has not been constructed. So what do you think? People will criticize him for that, for sure.
of course, absolutely. But the road is being worked. The road is being worked. It's like sometimes I say, how much tax is being collected in Edo State? You have to ask yourself. So whatever has been happening has been due to his prudent management that has been able to do some of those works. So give it to him that it is still something in the works.
Yeah.
Then they are also getting a few things done again in Eastern land, where I hear there's 40 licenses have been obtained, which is good, which means we can now do mineral resourcing from Edo Central. And then there's, of course, some natural and mineral resources in Edo North. If these are captured, then something can exactly happen in Edo State. But I hear that there's some bit of ethnic bickering, which is that if you look at Edo Central, Okwewulo comes
Mm,
from Uromi area. If he claims Uromi, that his mother is from Irua, then if you add up the votes there, we people are going to act in very sentimental way. Then that vote plus what they can get in Edo North, that's quite a size. So it is for them to fight in Edo South. I hear Roidas is been nominated, and I'm sure it's not been formally declared that he will be the Director General. And Oroide has a lot of clout. He has been winning a lot of elections in Edo South. So if you have a man like Oroide battling in Edo South for APC, then you have those collections of people from Edo Central. Then you have Oshomole gathering the votes from Etsako side. We don't know how much how much may come from Akoko Edo area. But there has been some reaction. I'm yet to read it properly. When the natives in around Omobayo's area, that's the name of the guy who's now the deputy governor, that after all, despite that, they are not interested. They think they want to go the way of APC. So if they do that, then PDP is going to have a battle. And unfortunately, Obaseki is has been also named the technocrat. He's been running the place like a boardroom thing. He's been hunkering down, trying to get job done. And you are not relating to people. You are not getting friendly with people. And so that may be an albatross. But then in our politics, what does it? I hear that something like 30 billion has been laid aside. If you have that kind of money to throw around, it is money that drives our elections. So all those analyses of work or didn't work, ethnic or no ethnic, family or no family, all these are there. But when money comes, money makes iron float. So don't forget that. So iron will float between now and September.
So I don't think PDP is doing enough to campaign. I've seen
You can
several. I've seen several flyers of the APC, even some supporters of APC in diaspora. People have shared so many flyers of APC, but I haven't seen anything of PDP yet, like that. This
you
upcoming
are
election is not unlike the previous one, the last one. This election, I don't think PDP is pushing enough. The governor is supposed to use his power and position to mobilize those citizens. I don't see that right now within the PDP members, while APC is pushing. I saw APC pushing. So that is what I've observed so far. I've not been following the election because I'm very busy here in Canada. But for what I've observed so far on WhatsApp and all that, I think APC is pushing more better than PDP.
you are correct, and which is quite a pity because you would have thought that given what is happening from the center, the bad economy, the heavy inflation, which has risen to 30 something percent, which in other countries will create riots. That and then you have this double whammy with electricity tariff rising by 300%. Petrol hasn't come down. So, in what way has APC done us good? So, why would people want that kind of linkage between Edo State and federal? But then, politics is sentiment, and you don't know what will happen. Yes, I agree that your observation is seemingly correct, but then again, never say never.
Yeah.
24 hours, like they say, is a
Yes, sir.
long time in peace.
Yeah.
Therefore, when the push comes to shove, I'm sure PDP will get down on its knees and its ass and push and do what they can. Because after all, there will be people who have been in the party. But of course, there have been a lot of people who have misunderstood Obaseki's approach, which has made it a bit very difficult for us. And like people are suggesting
Mm-hmm.
that he should not be anywhere near the campaign ground with Aswe. Otherwise, once there is a linkage, it will demarket Aswe. So it is in
Oh,
his
Lord.
in interest. It is in his own interest to go by himself and argue things by himself, convince the people by himself.
By himself.
Never mind that people are saying fine grammar no do the thing. Yes, fine grammar may not do it, but then people tend to toy with capacity. Okay, look at where Nigeria is. We lost the chance of a labor in the federal government. Is this capacity? All you get is somebody distributing money up and down. That's all we are getting. What's the new thing in Nigeria? What's the technology that is driving us? What is the new arrangement we have to revive the economy? Nothing. Just meetings, committees, movement, distribution of money. Those things don't kick an economy. So we must also remind ourselves that we need people who have the competency to move on to the higher grounds.
mm, mm. Yeah, we need, but campaign matters a lot. You know, campaign matters a lot. I don't see any campaign going on right now. The election is just in the corner. So they need ample time to campaign, not just campaigning in Nigeria alone. They need to connect with, Edo citizens in diaspora. Edo
Those
State, Edo
correct.
unique states. It's a very unique state in Nigeria. So we are the powerhouse of Edo states. Those of us in diaspora. If we say no to any government, it's no. So we can influence the election in Nigeria. We all know that. Even the electorate know that those
I
citizens in
believe.
diaspora can influence whoever is going to win this upcoming election in Edo State. I don't see both APC and PDP, even the Labour, doing anything so far. Labour has not been doing anything at all. I haven't seen their action. I was expecting the Labour because of the obedience movements, the obedient movement last year. So I haven't seen anything like that. But let's see. We don't know. Things can change around. We don't know. But
Okay.
we are
Let,
expecting
let
a Labour Party, to pick up this election, just like the way they did in the general election last year. So yeah.
yeah. Expectedly, people are talking about that obedient arm of
Mm,
labor to
mm,
move in and then take over and drive it. That I am sure. Maybe the next time we're going to talk, it will be possible for me to absolutely brief you what Labour may be doing in that direction because that is going to be the heart and soul of how they can win the election. Not by the structure. The structure won't do it. The structure is not strong enough. But the motivation of ordinary people who are seeking for a change and seeking for alternatives. And there are so many looking for alternatives. That can be said to be true. Maybe what you observe as a lull in the campaign is because the economy is affecting everybody. Either the parties are also trying to grapple with money and they know that the people themselves are fatigued because of the economy, and therefore they need to work up the mood of the people. Because you see, politics has to have a frenzy. People are worked up and they begin to go to the campaign ground and go and listen.
exactly. Exactly. You stimulate your people. Like what happened in the past election in Edo State. We'll see how all of us, reacted to the situation, the political climate of Edo State. So, there are many ways that the political parties can stimulate Edo citizens worldwide. Worldwide. So, if they want this election, any party that is ready to win this election needs to connect with Edo citizens worldwide, not only in Edo State, Edo citizens worldwide. So we have not seen anything like that so far. Better, hopefully, maybe they will do something. Because I used to check sometimes. I've never seen any Edo person, especially Edo citizens in diaspora who used to come out. Some of them used to use social media to campaign and all that. You understand? So
Yep.
nothing. The past election. Come on, I have everything because I know that it was during the COVID period. We were all at home, so like the Edo State election was our full time business at that time. I recorded everything. We still have those live broadcasts that we did at that time. There were a lot of those citizens online who were using their platforms to campaign for different political parties. You understand what I mean? But I haven't seen anything like that so far in this upcoming election. I know that APC is trying to push a little bit further, but I was expecting the governor, as a governor of a state, he has access to those citizens more. He's supposed to have that, with his position as the equivalent governor, he's supposed to use that power to mobilize for as well and support as well. And
I'm sure to do.
as well to he needs to do something outside of the governor, since some people are saying that because of the governor, they won't vote for him, nobody will support him. The governor has done. look, in Nigeria, in most cases, the second the second term for any governor in Nigeria, we know that they are not always popular. You understand? In the second
Yeah.
term, it's very common in Nigeria. You barely see any governor in Nigeria for second term that will be that popular. Even Obaseki is even, if we have to rate Obaseki, I will tell you he will be in like 90% of all. So it's normal to see that in the second term, a governor will not be that popular in the state. But Ashwa Ighodaro need to do something, distance himself a little bit, and work with the people. Work with the
Uh,
people.
if I if I may respond to you,
Mm,
I'm responding to the fact that
mm,
there doesn't seem to be a frenzy around the politics today. Reason could be that you have to have an issue and you have to have some personality thing that drives you. Like the last time, we wanted to ensure that Oshomole didn't win. We wanted to see that Oshomole doesn't get an upper hand over Obaseki. That became a driving force. Then, of course, the meddling of Tinubu then into Edo state politics got people incensed that how can you come from Lagos and dictate to Edo people? You see, so there was anger in the people's heart and people reacted. And that's what you saw in the fervency of the election the last time. Now, to make things, having two Asian people is not the best of things. Two Asian people contest means that you just have to decide how you are going to split vote. In what way is it going to be split? Can a guy who's so visible in Eastern land like Okpewolo, who has been providing transport, doing some boreholes
mm, mm,
for them, they they can see who he is and what he's doing, and therefore, so a guy whom they regard as a stranger, who's coming all the way from Lagos, but he has been working at the central point, which is Edo, Benin City, and therefore working for the governor towards the good governance of Edo State. People don't see that. Rather, you see, are so mundane, people are so hungry, they look at the little things you can get. That is what means something to them. So it is in that sense that with two contesting in Eastern land. The guy who's bringing transport, free transport, giving the borehole, seems to make more
mm,
meaning to them. So that could be a deciding
mm,
factor in Eastern land.
mm,
But like I tell you, it doesn't mean that the governor is not doing a lot of things across the state, in Edo North, in Edo Central, and Edo South. Anybody who says it's not working, it's not being fair to him. A lot of things are going on. And I like to believe that if money comes in, it will sway. But then, how do we know what Abuja may want to do? Because money not inside our politics, that's out. That's out. That's unthinkable. So, who has more money to distribute? Who has a lot of soft touch to do it may make a difference. But do remember that PDP has an Esan. Azegbemi is an Esan. So, will Azegbemi now move in to make sure that his party wins? Will he allow the guy from Ewohimi, Aswe Wodalu, not to win? So you see, there are all sorts of forces that will get up at different times. At different times. And of course, there's something that went viral, which if I'm PDP and I send it around, is very damaging even to APC.
mm.
Now I will quote what was in that viral video. And if you don't have it, I'd like to send it to you so you get to see it. Where
Okay.
they were
Okay.
where somebody, maybe I shouldn't mention his name, at least for
Mm,
the sake of ethical reasons on broadcasting.
mm,
He's a popular candidate, a popular person in Edo South. He was now saying in Benin language that, look, oh, when we win power, we will make sure we share the money of the state to everybody. Unlike what Obaseki has been doing, not sharing money to people. We will make sure that everybody gets a share of the state resources. When you say that, and if the other PDP gets that and flings it around, Is that not damaging enough to APC? Is that
So
not
they
damaging
said
enough?
they're going to share the money, or they're going to use the resources to develop the states.
That wasn't the language. It's
Because
because you are appealing to the people's emotion. We will share the money of the state to our people, unlike
yeah,
what Obaseki was doing.
oh, okay. When we say sharing the money, is it physical sharing that money with
Physical,
people,
physical,
or use?
physical.
Okay,
No, don't physical, because that is what they always accuse Obaseki of, that he is
yeah,
tight fisted.
okay, I
He
got
doesn't allow money to move around. But then, right, so that's the language. And I think I will
you.
send you the video later
Mm,
after this broadcast, so
mm,
you get to see it. And you will hear it. You being Bini yourself, you will hear it and be very angry. And if anybody spreads it around, it will be damaging to the APC as a party. And
okay, I
I
got you.
mean, PDP has enough
Mm,
to use. Let's face it.
mm.
I mean, is this how a country runs? The
Even
people are washed.
you know, you
People
know,
are suffering.
one thing Obaseki did when he came to power is that he blocked the loopholes in the system. You see
Absolutely.
the loopholes
Yeah,
where people were acquiring wealth illegally
yeah,
in a state. He ensured that he blocked those loopholes,
yeah,
illegal way of making money in those states. So, and
yeah.
Obaseki is not that generous that will throw money away like that. Unless you present something meaningful to him before he can support. And when he's supporting, you ensure that he don't over support you. You understand?
I agree. I
So
agree.
all those things Obaseki have been doing, some people don't like it because that is not the norm of Nigerian politics, because they
I agree.
believe this giving money, getting money from politicians and all that. And Obaseki don't believe in that thing. For him,
Yeah,
he believes that the resources of Edo State should be spent to develop the state instead of you giving money to people. So that is the thing. That is the difference between the APC-led government and Obaseki-led government. So right now, they are trying to tell people that they will give them money. Instead of developing the states, they're going to give them money. They're giving them some cash. That
that's
cash,
it.
that cash is something that will not last them even 1 month. You understand? Giving someone money for 1 month, why after 1 month you and your children will be in destitute, poverty.
Yeah.
So,
Actually, the thing they want to do is to go back to the old politics where you
mm,
empower party people either with contracts. So you either over invoice, you
mm,
overcharge the state and give more money to party people. That's how this money comes out, and that's how the money will be scattered. But then, will that bring development? That's another question. Is that what we want? Issuing contracts to people without looking at the ground plan. Because, for example, Obaseki has worked out some 30-year plan for the state. And that's the way to go. And the guy who has worked with him very closely is a man he believes should be able to take up the mantle and then run the state. If he
mm,
runs the state appropriately, it will be better for the people of Edo State. Because if it goes to another hand, the strategy of planning will change, the context of planning will change, the end game will change, the outcomes will change. And of course, they will always tell everybody, oh, we need to be aligned with the federal. And I don't know what aligning with federal means. Must you not get what you should get? Let's face it. Is it because you're in an opposition party, you will not get what you are supposed to earn from the federal treasury? Why not? Although they do a few wrong things in Nigeria, especially some states in the north, they give them more largesse
mm,
than they ought to get. But that is the way we run the country.
mm, mm. That is it. They believe on sharing money. This idea of sharing money. That is one of the reasons why that country will never develop if they continue to be sharing money during election period. Why after they win the election, they will embezzle our money, not developing our states in Nigeria. So please, it is time for us to do away with this sharing of money, especially during election period. Election is coming now. Some people are jubilating. This is the period where they get some money from government, from politicians. Ah, how long are we going to be living like this? After you get some change from politicians, then they will leave you in abject poverty. No electricity. Now, any country on earth that still lack electricity in 21st century, except for only Nigeria. Only Nigeria is the only country that you go to and get electricity. Can't get electricity. You have backward visit Nigeria. When you look at the suffering, when you get to Nigeria, it's like you just came to one land where there is a lot of how do they suffer head? Too much suffering in that country.
I agree. I agree.
Too much
I agree.
suffering.
I agree. And the leaders don't feel it. They don't empathize with the people. That's the sad thing. It is like let them enjoy themselves. Let them do what they can do. I mean, a bad example, whether people don't want to talk about it, is something people should always be referring to. In this heat of trying to develop an economy, the federal government decides to do coastal road between Lagos and Calabar. Coastal road. And what we would have expected is a road that connects some states so that there's some economic linkage between the road and the people. But what happens? You're doing a coastal road running across the rivers, along the coastline, and costing 1 trillion, and given to a company that somebody in federal government has close business link with. Then it begins to make you worry. Is that the way you want this economy to grow? Is that what we badly need now? I worry about things like that. There's nothing you can say, oh, there's a new product we're investing in. Okay, you talked about energy now, light. There are people doing energy things in Nigeria. There are people coming out with solar panels. Some people are that's indigenous now, not necessarily importing them. Doing a few things that we can benefit from locally. Some people in Meduguri are having electric cars. Innocent, for example, in Nnewi in the east, is doing cars. Why can't we drive these things in such a way that it improves employment, it improves the economy, and teaches other people that that is the way to invest? And we go to the fourth revolution, where technology, artificial intelligence, robotics, machine learning is driving the economies. Why don't we go there? Why is it that it is about sharing money from morning till night, distributing money to states? Whenever there's need, you distribute the money. Nobody accounts for it. Nobody knows how the money goes out. It's like, I mean, they just say, oh, we distribute grain, we distribute things in silos. Nobody gets. How many people have gotten the right, the so-called right? How many people have got the grains that have been distributed? So people are very, very disappointed, and that's why, like you were saying, that we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. When does it turn? And if a state, and I'm sure we've made this comment at some point, a state in Nigeria is as good as a country in Africa. And what do we have? We have a state, the economy is not tops, it's not moving the way it should. Then you begin to panic. When do we now get it right that the state can decide to be as wealthy like anything else? They say Lagos is about the fifth largest economy in Africa, Lagos State. Why can Edo State not be like that? Why can't we be the third? At least that's Aswe Godalo's plan, that at least we rise up from where we are, rise
Yeah.
in our GDP, rise in everything we're doing. Because I don't see this other guy whose credentials are a little bit doubtful.
Aswai Godalo is very civilized, very, very civilized, and he's very innovative. Very.
Yes,
When you listen to him and even read his biography, what he has done, I just imagine such a person becoming the governor of Edo State. Hi.
I know, I know. And those are the things we're looking forward to. But then again, like Nigeria, even the good things don't happen. They would rather spoil it and do what they want to do because they
Yeah.
want the money. They want the money. They want the money, you know? And it's okay. Let me tell you the interest that how they compose themselves in APC. The Senate was interested in putting their man. The issue was maybe the Dennis Idausa. would have been the man they opted for as governor.
Mm.
That was the choice of the party apparatchik. Then what happened? The Senate felt that their man who's leaving the Senate should be the governor. Of course, what does that mean? It will give them access. Then the House of Rep plus the people in the party hierarchy wanted Dennis. So the compromise was try and make sure that Shomole doesn't lose his face. Bring two people who contested for the same election to become governor and deputy. That's how this thing was hammered in. And who knows the interests that are all behind all of this. So the thing is not about the people. And like you said, over about a year ago when we're having a program like this, that the 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 electorate don't seem to matter. Is the party players who decide who gets what and who eventually becomes. And I pray that that's not how this election will go. About who gets it, other than we the people. Because if we the people don't get it, it will be very sad.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. At least we should start with electricity. Having steady electricity, it will drive the economy. I don't know how they're going to develop the states, even the economy without steady electricity. It won't work. We need in everything we do these days, in our modern society, we need electricity. 24/7 electricity, that's what we need first before we can even thinking about boosting the economy. Come on now.
I agree. I agree. I agree. We just hope that those things are fixed, and that's how the economy will beef up. And for example, we've started with Osioma, and with the Osioma light, we should be able to move on further and further to extend it to all the nooks and crannies of Edo State. Then every place is lit up. There's fiber optics to ensure that there is internet around the state, because local governments are now using paperless governance, that's e-governance. So those are the things that are already happening in Edo State, and we pray that this can continue.
What about the electricity? There's no improvement. The Osimo power plant is only, I think, distributing electricity to
Government
some
ministry,
organizations,
yes, yes,
institutions. Yeah. Mm,
yeah, some government institutions in the main, but the people who want it can get it on demand, and if they can pay for it, that's it.
mm, okay. Mm, yeah, we still have a long way to go. It's okay,
Absolutely.
so I think we'll see. We have a
Um,
long way to go. Anyway, I think we have done enough for today, and we'll
okay.
come back next time. When next are we coming back, sir? Was it
We
on
we said
Sunday? We're coming back on Sunday.
we did you say Sunday? After Friday,
Yeah,
I think Sunday,
Sunday,
then
Sunday and Tuesday.
and
Tuesday.
Tuesday, yes.
So we are coming back on Tuesday to update everyone about the upcoming Edo State election. So, for all our viewers, we're going to be regular on Nebo TV right now, and we're going to be doing a kind of a 24/7 live broadcast on Nebo TV. So, any latest news, Onome is still working. Onome is going to be reporting the news. We're going to be doing live streaming in case you see something rolling all night, all day. So, pay attention to that. Any latest news on Nebo TV. So that is the end of today's program. If today is your first time of joining our program, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our page on Facebook, as we are ready for our daily broadcast on Nebo TV. Thank you all. Hello, sir. Let me tell you, sir.
Yes, my pleasure. We look forward to
Thank
meeting everyone in the next 2 days.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you
Um,
for joining us today from Benin. Thank
Time.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, bye. Hello, everybody. If you are watching right now, please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so, and like our page on Facebook and follow us. I will be bringing people from Edo State to discuss about the upcoming election from now on. So at least every 2 or 3 days, we're going to be here discussing about those state election. All right. Thank you all for watching, and see you guys on Sunday. We are coming back on Sunday. I'll bring Mr. Tony Abolo back to the program on Sunday. All right. He joined us from Benin. He lives in Benin as well. He's a journalist, a very prominent journalist in Benin City. So yeah, he's going to be updating us about what is going on around the Edo State politics, the candidates, the electorates, and everybody. Okay. So that's it for today. Thank you all, and see you guys on Sunday. Bye for now.